Hello everyone. The number of operations when repairing walls in a room depends on the type of materials used for subsequent finishing. Definitely, it makes no sense to achieve an overly smooth wall covering if you suddenly decide to cover them with tiles, imitation brick or gypsum panels. Here, everything will be hidden by the adhesive layer and finishing material. But if, for example, you decide to glue wallpaper on the walls, or just paint them, then, for such a finish, the surface of the wall needs to be properly leveled, closing all the pores and cracks. The concept of leveling the walls does not necessarily include the work associated with arranging plaster beacons on them, followed by applying a thick layer of plaster using a long rule. Sometimes, in the presence of initially not having any geometric deviations of the walls, the surface itself may turn out to be porous or rough. It will be completely wrong to apply putty immediately on such a wall, since the putty is not always able to cover such defects, and after applying it, air bubbles may reappear, which will have to be covered over and over again. In this case, gypsum plaster comes to the rescue. Gypsum plaster can be applied with a fairly thin layer, and at the same time, it can close all pores and small irregularities. Before starting work, the surface of the walls must be treated with a primer. The application of gypsum plaster is carried out in different ways. Myself, I use a spatula. When working with a spatula, you can choose a tool of any convenient width. The spatula is wider, will definitely speed up the work and reduce the number of marks left by the tool. The plaster is applied in a continuous thin layer, the mixture is smoothed in different directions. When covering with a thin layer, the mortar should not be very thick, it should be easily pressed with a spatula and fill all micro pores and cracks. So gradually, smear by smear, the entire wall is covered, which, after drying, should no longer be so porous. Subsequently, on the gypsum plaster, you can apply a mineral water-soluble filler in several layers with intermediate drying and sanding. Having previously plastered walls, the consumption of the subsequent finishing putty is significantly reduced, and the surface quality becomes significantly higher. The surface of such walls will be smooth and even, ready both for painting and for pasting the walls with the most pretentious wallpaper. That's all. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Good luck to everyone and see you soon.